Alright guys, welcome to a new YouTube video from me, and today we want to speak about discipline. And I find it really funny because I often see people, for example, best example is on New Year, the classic New Year resolutions, and people are really motivated. This year is my year. I will lose, for example, 10 kilograms of my body weight. I will start hitting the gym. I will start some new business. I will start some new side hustle. I want to change my life. I want to start martial arts, for example. And then, for example, if you compare gym visitors from January to February to March or even April, you notice a really big difference. So in my opinion, for example, why is this case, for example, with the gym visitors, is because people lack discipline. Most people out there lack discipline. And it's kind of sad because most people have so much potential inside of them. Also you, if you watch this video, and you let your complete potential, your whole potential on the streets because you lack discipline. Let's imagine, for example, how would your life look like if you, every time when you set yourself some goals, you made a plan? And how would your life look like today if you just had discipline and if you kept going? Be honest to yourself. Would you be in the same situation? And even for me, my life would look 10 times, 100 times, maybe even 1000 times better if I never did lack discipline, for example. So yeah, just discussed why discipline is important. And now let's look how you can develop discipline. So I hope it's not the case, but just for the video, let's say you have zero discipline, your life is fully chaotic, you are completely overweight, you don't take care of yourself, you don't get things done, you just, every time you say something, you will do, you never do it. So every time you lie to yourself. And if this is the case, then you need to start with small steps. The same with, for example, muscle building, bodybuilding, martial arts, like anything. You need just to start small. That's, for example, a mistake I see some people make out there. They really want to change. They want to fully commit, but they want to do it too big, too much in a too short time period. And that's the first thing I recommend to you. Just start small. Start with the small things. For example, if you say you wake up at 7 a.m., then buy some alarm where no snooze button is there and just get up at 7 a.m. If you say you will brush your teeth, for example, then get to the shower and then you cut your nails, then do these things. If you say, for example, you want to clean up your room today, just clean up your room. So you need to stick to your word. And the positive side effect of this, you also will notice your confidence will grow. Because why? Some part of confidence is trust in yourself. And if you every time, say for example, you will get up at 7 a.m., but you will get up at 8:30, you will say you clean up your room, you don't clean up your room. Every time you lie to yourself. And if you lie to yourself, for example, 50, 100 times a day, yeah, how can you trust yourself? And so a positive side effect of developing discipline, you will also notice your confidence will go to the roof because you will start trust yourself again. So, and start really small. If you can't get one thing done, just start with one thing. Take a sheet of paper, some pen, or put it in your phone, I don't know, and make a task list. And write down, okay, today I want to clean up my room. And then you will not go to sleep until everything on this task list is done. So do just this one thing for the next 1 or 2 weeks. And if you achieved it, if you every single day get everything done you told yourself with this one thing, then you can add up, for example, 2 things, 3 things, 4 things, etc., etc. And it's the same like muscle grow. If you start with 1 kilogram, you then will add 1 kilogram more. So now you curl your biceps with 2 kilogram. Then if it's easy for you, you will step to the next level and will curl 3 kilograms, etc., etc. So that's the first thing. Get everything done you want to do today. So get a task list and don't get to sleep till everything is checked up on this task list. So the second thing I can recommend to you, and that's a thing I, to be honest, never needed in my life, is a training partner, for example, a sparring partner, a checkup partner, just to keep yourself accountable. So it's much more easier, for example, if you start something and you are really not disciplined, you lack discipline, if you have a partner. And you have to be both fully committed and help each other. If, for example, one person don't want to go to training, the other person needs to push the other one to go to the training. And if you want to increase this effect of a partner, you could make the $10 rule, for example. So how does the $10 rule look? So let's take, for example, your partner is named John. You say to John, hey John, we are partners. Let's commit to each other. And every time someone of us skips the training, don't take training seriously, don't get his task list fully done. So every time someone of this happen, the other person has to give to his partner $10. So what do you do in this case? You automatically train yourself through pain, through shame, to be more disciplined. So shame and pain sometimes are the best motivators and are the reason most people make a significant change in their life. For example, always in my case, if I made a significant change in my life, it was out of pain. It was out of shame. And if you know these things, you just can trick yourself into progress if you add up some pain and shame. So that's the second thing you can do. Get yourself a partner and increase the effect to, for example, make some rules, some penalties, for example, the $10 rules. And the third thing I can recommend to you, and this was really a game changer, and I use this at anything I want to implement in my life. For example, discipline. I want to get better in sales. I want to get better in marketing and make an identity shift. So what do I mean with it? Let's explain it with one question. So if you would see yourself as a disciplined person who trains every day, who never misses a day, who always shows up when he says he shows up, who always gets up at 7 a.m. when he says he gets up at 7 a.m., would you say you would lack discipline? So make this identity shift to see yourself as a disciplined person. And just because you see yourself as a disciplined person, you automatically be more disciplined because it's now some part of your persona. It's now some part of your personality. So for example, if your personality is you always wear white hoodies and black jeans, what do you think you will wear all day? Yeah, white hoodies and black jeans. So start see yourself as a disciplined person, start to see yourself at this personality, which, for example, ask yourself a question. How would the future version of me look who succeeded, who fulfilled his goals, who lives the life I want to live? How does this person feel? How does this person look? What does this person do every day? How's their daily schedule? With which type of people do they hang out, etc., etc. So if you make this identity shift and you truly make this identity shift from the bottom of your heart, so it's really important that you take things you really want, because otherwise you don't really make an identity shift because you don't truly want it. So use this identity shift to trick yourself into a new personality and to create a new persona. And so you often see this quote, your personality creates your personal reality. And it's 100% true, because you cannot be what you cannot see. So through this identity shift, you just can create a new reality. And I once heard this from some of my mentors in the past, and it's really true. If you create a new persona, if you make this identity shift, at the first time it feels really weird. So for example, if you have a driver's license, how did it feel to drive the car for the first time? It was really scary. It felt really difficult. It's, yeah, you you didn't feel really comfortable, because every time you start something new, it's difficult at the beginning. So these are just some basic rules at any time, at anything in life. So if you start making this identity shift, at the first time it feels really unnatural. So for example, if you driving through some landscapes, etc., there are often some off-road streets where you can see ruts from cars, tractors, etc. And let's take this as an example. And if you have the same identity your whole life, if you have, or the longer you have this current identity of yourself, this image of yourself in your head, and the longer you live to this self-image, the deeper are the ruts. So when you make this identity shift and you start to create a new personality, it feels like you're leaving this old known ruts, and now it feels like you're driving on ice, for example. So the more you will drive at the new road, you will develop new ruts, and the ruts will deeper and deeper and deeper the more you drive on it. So you can take this road example and amplify it to every skill you will develop, to everything new you want to try. It's every time the same. At first it feels unnatural, and I think that's one reason why some people quit, for example, going to the gym or quit a new year resolution, because it feels so unnatural to them. And then they sell themselves this idea of, okay, maybe this isn't for me. It is different than I expected. Maybe I should try something else. But surprise, surprise, if you try another thing, it will be the same. So don't fall into this "it isn't for me" trap, and just give yourself the time you need to get from this weird, unnatural phase to the well-known and comfortable phase. And then you can decide, okay, I now feel comfortable. I now got better. So now I can decide, okay, is this something I want to do for the rest of my life? Or is this something I will just do sometimes? Or is it something I will never do again in my life? And that's the decision you will have to make by yourself, for yourself. And yeah, just be honest at this point in your life when you make some of these decisions, but don't make these decisions too early. And we spoke about it in the first place as this penalty rule, to use shame and pain as your motivation. But the same thing works also from the other side. So if you have a dog, for example, and you want to train your dog to make sit or give you his claw or do any trick, what do you do if he succeeds or do the things you want him to do? You give him a reward. And these are the two things we will get trained, we will get in some way also manipulated to either a reward or a penalty. For example, think back, remember when you were at the school, if you get good grades, you get rewards, you received positive feedback, etc. And if you had bad grades, you got a penalty, you got negative feedback, etc., etc. So you can train yourself this way, and every time, for example, you are disciplined, you did fulfill your task list, you can give yourself a reward. For example, I don't know if you like chocolate, and let's take an example. You want to lose weight, but you like to eat sweets, you like chocolate. Every time you, for example, at the end of the week, when you 100% get the training done, when you hit your nutrition goals, etc., etc., you reward yourself with, for example, one praline or one piece of chocolate. So reward yourself with things you like, you enjoy, but where you don't, yeah, where you don't damage yourself. So for example, if you like, I don't know, taking drugs or drinking alcohol, uh, these are not so good things to reward yourself. So choose something. You know, it doesn't always need to be the healthiest things, but just choose things you enjoy, you really enjoy, you like to do, but are not really dangerous to you. So that's the third thing. Reward yourself and train yourself through positive feedback. Give yourself positive feedback, and surprise, surprise, your confidence will increase also this way. So you can see, for example, like these basic character traits you should have, like discipline, confidence, etc., etc. It's a positive side effect. If you get better at one thing, if you develop confidence, you will also get more disciplined. If you develop discipline, you will also get more confident. What's the funny thing I noticed in my life, after I changed these things, develop discipline, get more confident, uh, cut out my fear more and more, noticed I gained momentum, came in this upward spiral. And it's really interesting because if you start, for example, with a small snowball and you push it down the hill, the snowball gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And so that's how you also create momentum. And what's the funniest thing at all? You stop chasing happiness at some moment because you feel so proud of yourself. You develop some happiness through your achievements, that you don't need these cheap dopamine hits anymore, because these these feelings of, because you feel so satisfied and proud about yourself that you get things done, that compared to these cheap dopamine hits, they feel like, I don't know, sand corns in the desert, for example, compared to how you feel when you're in this momentum, in this upward spiral. And so it also helps automatically if you want, for example, quit bad habits, change some lifestyle habits. And it's it's like a machine where you have different parts, and the different parts working together. The same is with these basic character traits. And you need to understand that it's completely normal, that it's hard at the beginning, it feels completely unnatural, and you just have to stay consistent and push toward this phase until it doesn't feel unnatural anymore, and until you get more comfortable and comfortable, and more confident and confident. And then congratulations, you developed your discipline muscle. And yeah, so I hope this video was helpful to you. I hope you learned something new today. So yeah, if you want to see more videos in the future of me, just hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to don't miss out on any content I will post in the future. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new today, and let's do the next video.